some jelly and peanut butter. You know, let's switch this thing up. And so we went to the bread and butter so much now that we forgot about, you know, our shining prospects and the new talent that is needed. So here we are now in a situation where, you know, instead of us banking on our newer talent, you know, I think a whole pay-per-view can be centered around the young lions of wrestling. And it's more specifically WWE. I think a whole pay-per-view, it'd just be interesting. For instance, I was watching. I was out at Applebee's in Detroit this past Monday, and Raw came on, and I saw the whole thing with the Triple H, the United Champions bracket that was put up, and I saw what happened. Triple H and MVP and John Cena and The Miz. Now, we've seen so much of the same stuff for so long. I believe just out of curiosity and to see what may happen, you know, what would it have hurt any? It can't hurt Triple H. It can't hurt. It can't hurt John Cena. So I thought it would have been cool to put one of those other guys over, and let's see which one of them go to the pay-per-view. It's not going to hurt them, but it'll give them credit. It'll give MVP, especially the Miz. They put so much time into sending this guy out there. John Cena is indestructible right now, in 90% of the fans' mind. You know, so would it have hurt to slip Miz over?
You're saying what a lot of people say, Evie. You're saying a lot of things that a lot of the people in the internet wrestling community are saying. They're tired of seeing the same people.
Yeah, it just would have made sense. So, you know, you did all that, and then have Miz to come out there. He goes over at the pay-per-view, you know, whether he cheats, whatever the case, you know, he goes over. Cena comes out there and says, you know what, Miz, you did it. I got to give it to you. You cheated. You did this. You did that. But the bottom line is you got the 1, 2, 3. Now, Bill, how about you, Bill, man? Come out here and let's see if you can do it again. And Miz come out there and say, hey, wait a minute. I'm the Miz, and I'm amazing. That's right, I beat you. You know, and guess what? When you become a champion, that's when you come see me. Until then, I'm never fighting you again. And Miz got that credibility. He still has the heat. He's still this wimp, this bad guy, this nothing of happening of a real world wannabe. He still has it, and it's just going to give him credibility. Hey, he beat John Cena. And then they can still build a whole something around where they meet up 3 months later, and it's for the title. And then John Cena can take it back. No big deal. But, hey, what do I know? I don't know anything. What I do know is the ElijahExpress.com. You know what I'm saying? And I know what's about to happen here, what's about to be popping off really big with the Black Pope going national once again.
All right, definitely. Now, you're talking about Young Guns and yourself. We were having, you know, we were anticipating the Elijah Express rolling into HitTheRopes.com, and we were wondering somehow, some way, the topic of Kofi Kingston and Elijah Burke came up. I know I saw on your message board on the ElijahExpress.com that you faced him numerous times in the house shows. But who's the better talent? Who's the better prospect, Kofi Kingston or Elijah Burke?
Well, you're talking about a double-edged sword there, brother. You're talking about two individuals that's, number one, let me put it like this. Number one, you can't compare an Elijah Burke to a Kofi Kingston because they're two distinctive individuals and personalities. That's like saying, who's better, Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan? Oh God, wait a minute. That'll be on every message board when we get off of this conversation. I don't mean it. I'm not comparing myself nor Kofi to Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan, but what I'm trying to say is Hulk Hogan was great for his charismatic abilities, what he did, and the fact that you could put his name on a marquee and he sold out at numerous arenas just because of his name alone. Ric Flair was great because he was Ric Flair. He was the wrestler. He can go in there and make anybody looked like, including Rocky King, looked like $1 million bucks. And that's why Ric Flair was Ric Flair. That's why Ric Flair was great. So you're talking about it's just two distinctive things. I mean, and then you guys haven't seen Elijah the Face. I mean, only those that were at OVW during my upbringing, that's Elijah the Face. No one has seen Elijah the Good Guy. You've only seen Elijah the Healer. I personally, if there's anybody that I pull for and anybody that I would watch if someone told me that wrestling was on, is Kofi Kingston. I would watch him. Definitely, because he's a great, exceptional talent, good guy. That was my riding partner. That was my, when we were on the road, that was my guy. I kicked his butt numerous times, every night, matter of fact, just about, in NFL Madden 2008. So you be sure. Yeah, and whenever he wanted to go give a shot at Raw versus SmackDown, I don't think we played that on the road, maybe once or twice. But yeah, I love kicking his butt, and again, he's an exceptional talent. So I'm a big fan of Kofi's.
Definitely.
Right now, Elijah. Oh,
go ahead, Demetrius.
I was just gonna say real quick.
Hold on. You can call me Pope. It's okay.
All right, Pope. I got a bone to pick with you, man. I'm backtracking a couple statement you made a few minutes ago. You were in Detroit eating dinner at Applebee's. Now, this is Demetrius. I'm from Detroit, Pope. Why didn't you give me a call, man? I could have had a cheese stick or a fajita with you or something, man.
Brother, look, man, I had such a busy weekend. Pope came. It was crazy. And it was just crazy, man. And as a matter of fact, I don't think you would have wanted to have been with me at that moment, man. My abs started locking up, my legs locked up. I didn't know what was going on, but I was just probably overexhausted, overworked my body for this whole weekend. I mean, it was crazy, and I was well hydrated too, man. And then this one lady was behind the bar, and she was being a little standoffish because I went up there and I said, hey, these people over here watching wrestling, you mind putting it on over here, for the guys that I was with or whatnot. And they go, well, we only put on real sports. And I'm like, excuse me? You know what I'm saying? She said, we don't do professional wrestling, we only put on real sports in here. And so I said, well, I tell you what, just go get me your manager. And the manager comes out, and he goes, hey, yeah, how you doing, Elijah? No problem, man. What you want? Just tell me what channel you want it on. Puts it on the channel, turns it up to about 50. I mean, the volume is just blasting. So she's over, so she's over behind the bar, and she's being very upset over the fact that, she got overrode by her manager, which I told her, whenever I'm in Detroit, we always come here and we always watch, wrestling. And so she got a little upset about it, and then about 30 minutes later, she all of a sudden changes the channel again and says that my customer at the bar wants to watch baseball, which I had no problem with because it was Detroit and the Tigers were playing. But I just, I spoke to the manager and I spoke to her. Well, I spoke to the manager about her, and then eventually I spoke to her just to voice my displeasure over the fact that you could have conferred with me before you just, again, got up and changed channels or whatnot. So half of the guys went out the door, switched their shirts, took off their hats, switched hats, put on other people's glasses, came in, sat at the bar, ordered a drink, and said, we want to watch wrestling. And we overruled that one guy. And by that time, I just felt it was pointless anyway because John Cena was going against The Miz, so kind of knew what was going to happen there. So it was like, okay, time to go. And I think that's what's hurting our business. Now, a lot of people I watched TNA Slammiversary, and for all the crap that is given, man, did I love the finish to the main event match. Well, a lot of people disagree with that because of everything that's been going on and the whole black towel task factor / issue. So everyone's going, well, that didn't make any sense or whatnot. Okay, there's so much stuff that don't make sense. If it didn't make sense, you guys wouldn't have a freaking radio show / message board / wrestling sites because all that does is sit down and dissect what was seen and what doesn't make sense.